So I went to Belize, went straight to the media, to the news channel. At the time, it was looked at with a negative stigma to be deported. I went to the news channel, the number one news channel, Channel 7, Belize, and I told them straight up. I said, "Look, I just got deported, and I'm going to show you guys how a deportee is supposed to live after he's deported." And this was like headline news in the country. And at first, they looked at it like it was like a what you call like a promotional stunt, because it's like I already had the album called Life After Deportation,
They
and
thought
it
you
seemed
trying to
like I
get
was just
clout.
promoting it.
Hey, you
Yeah,
gotta be careful with the power of that tongue. They thought you were trying to get clout. So you went from basically saying you was the deportee and all that, you've been deported, to actually getting deported. So now you go to the media place and they looking at you like just another stunt.
yeah,
Like, so like you like the boy cried wolf. The wolf is actually here now, you know. So
yeah.
continue with it.
So yeah, so they had that news out in the public, and people were just looking at it like, what? Like normally people are embarrassed if they're deported. This dude is like talking so confident, like this doesn't phase him in no way, shape, or form. And now I'm just looked at like this deportee who he say he is. And I had all these, like I said, the whole album, man. I'm an illegal alien. I'm living my life with no representation. I have no documents. I'm facing deportation. Tell them to deport me, but still I'm proud to be Belizean. Yo, I hugged my little sister, kissed my mama goodbye, saying, please, mama, 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 please don't cry. Certain things in life you got to do for you to be a man. So I will do what it takes to reach the promised land. Nothing but a failure be the trial, so I'll try. Promise I'll be back, mama, before the day I die. Knapsack on my back, hit the road, nothing to lose. Now I'm sitting on a crowded bus singing the blues. Yo, I am an illegal alien, living my life with no representation. Man, real life story
Yeah,
coming
that's real
through.
life though. Y'all got to check out his music too, though. We got it pinned at the top. You know, we got his YouTube and all this stuff. So while we on Belize, tell us a little about the country. Like, how is life in Belize? While coming back there, like.
Man, coming back to Belize, it was like getting knocked back to like uh, the Stone Age, bro, because it's like the lifestyle in Belize is very different from the lifestyle I was living in LA. In LA, I was all flashy and flossy and all of that. But being in Belize gave me the chance to really be everything I wanted to be. In LA, they say fake it until you make it. In Belize, you can't fake it. You got to really make it. You know what I'm saying? There's no faking it in Belize, man. There's no faking it in Belize. And I had to make that decision to go with business or stardom. So for me, I chose business. There's a lot of things that I had to change. And that, again, being the master of coping with inadequacies, I did an excellent job at that. In Belize, there's no real entertainment industry. So I had to be the entertainment industry and find ways to make money from the entertainment industry, like selling my music in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
At first, it was frowned upon in Belize. That's why I'm known as the number one selling artist in the history of Belize. Because when Belizean artists were embarrassed to go on the streets to sell their music, they looked at it like, what real artist goes sell his music in the street? Real artists wear big gold chains and they drive nice vehicles and live in mansions. And I'm not going to be in the street selling my music. That's how they looked at it.
Mm.
Now, for me, it was a different game. So I had to flip the script and really be myself. You know what I'm saying? I had to really be myself, showing the people, yo, this is me, this is who I am, this is where I'm trying to go, and I'm going to get there by any means necessary. It went from me just trying to have money to have food, light, water, and a roof over my head to finally, I had sold so much CDs that, wow, I could like actually do some things to where I actually bought a property cash in Belize. And that had never been heard of. No artist in Belize had ever made that much money that they could buy a property, much less buy it cash. You know what I'm saying? I did
Right.
that. So once I started moving like that, it opened the eyes of other artists to see, man, you could really make money from music. You could really do your thing. And it just created a whole lot of other opportunities for others once they saw how I was doing it, how I was moving with my music.
So
Sold over.
speaking of music, you know, I gotta ask you about Shine. You know, he from Belize and stuff too, though. So a lot of for the
Right.
people that's listening, you know, Shine is a artist that was on the label with P Diddy at the time. So how's your relationship with Shine?
I don't really have a relationship with Shine, but I love Shine, man. I love what Shine stands for. I have a lot of respect for where he has come from to what he have had a chance to do. So I really, I'm a big fan of Shine. However, Shine doesn't notice. Shine looks at me like I think I'm the competition, you know, because when I'm saying I'm a number one selling artist in the history of Belize and Shine have sold millions of CDs or music around the world, it's looking at it like, I don't know if he's looking at it like I don't recognize that, but I never said I'm the number one selling artist around the world. I'm the number one selling artist in the history of Belize. No artist in Belize have sold more of their music in Belize than I have ever sold. So that's what I'm talking about. And there's no competition, there's no debating that. Because nobody has ever saw Shine selling a CD in the streets of Belize. And nobody in Belize can really say, here's my Shine CD that I bought because I went to buy his CD. People just don't do that in Belize, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect to him at all, but I'm just speaking facts, what it is. It is what it is.
So is Belize a big country, or what's the population now? What's the population there? What language do they speak in Belize?
The official language in Belize is English, but we do speak many other languages. Like there's a lot of Creole, there's Spanish, there's Mayas. You know, I'm Garifuna. I'm a Garifuna. We are the population of Garifuna is not that big. The whole population of the country is less than like 400,000 people in Belize right now.
So like, what would the minimum wage be? You know, being that it's not big on population. What's minimum wage? Like, give us an example. Like, I try to throw in like travel questions and stuff like that. So, what I'm gonna ask you is like, basic necessities that you need. Like, say for instance, like rent, lights, water, internet, all that stuff. Like, what would they come out to
Uh,
be like in a month in American USD for my travel?
you know, in Belize, is life is pretty reasonable, man. Internet and stuff like that costs more than what it would cost normally in other countries. Like, for example, like I think for like unlimited internet or a good plan might cost you like maybe around $55, something like that. Um, I, light water is not that expensive. You could depends on how you use it. My whole time back in Belize, I have been moving around Belize, like traveling, grinding. So I never was the dude to just like be sitting in the house using the internet or nothing like that. I was in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to really do what I came to do, which was to survive and to be in the position I'm in. I had to be in those streets every day. So every day, all day, I was in the streets selling my music, bro. Every day from October 23rd, 2006 until like about 10 years after. Then I decided I would travel into other countries because I'm like, okay, you sold over 215,000 copies of your music in Belize. So what? What about if you was in Honduras or Guatemala, in these countries that have millions of people in their in the population? You could be doing much better. So I decided to do that.
Where did you go to after
Man,
Belize?
I after Belize, I went to Guatemala, and
Mm-hmm.
I traveled all through Guatemala, made my way up to Guatemala City. It was cool. I stayed there for probably like 6 months, and then I said, you know what? I'm gonna go all the way down south, and I went all the way down to Argentina and worked my way back up. Brazil, Ecuador, Peru, Chile, Colombia, all these countries, and finally made my way through Mexico all the way to the U.S. border, and I was grinding in Tijuana for a while. Probably like I stood like probably like 3 months in Tijuana at the border because I found out that that was the busiest border in the world, man. One of the busiest borders in the world, Tijuana, and where it goes from Mexico and Mexico San Diego border. So I grind there for like 3 months, and I started working my way back down through Mexico. I purchased a vehicle there that I would use to grind in Mexico. and I stopped in Mexico City, and the love was great. It was so amazing. The people were so receptive to me. I decided to just purchase a spot. First, I paid for a hotel for a year in Mexico City, and after that, just to learn the place, see the place, and then I ended up getting a spot, invested in a crib in Mexico City.
So you was doing this music yourself independently. How was you printing them up? Like, how was you doing it?
Oh man, there was no. I was print. I was doing all the printing. At times, it's funny. At times, I was on the street. Well, at the free zone, there's an area outside of Belize called the free zone, Zona Libre. That's between Mexico and Belize. And at that time, I was like burning my CDs. I paid this dude in a store to connect my burner. So I had a 50-foot cable that was connected, getting electricity from his store going all the way to the side of the road. And I was burning my CD on the side of the road, packaging them and selling them to the cars as they exit out the free zone. So that right there was like crazy, but it was, yeah, it was so,
grind.
and that it was so good, man, that I could sell the CDs before they even finished burning out the burner. I'm taking them out, putting them, folding up in the paper, putting it in the plastic, sealing the plastic, and delivering it to the vehicle, man.
Yeah, I know about that grind. We call it the duplicator. I studied you, Berne. I studied you, man. I got a duplicator myself. You made me go in the closet, man. I had to pull out this antique stuff. So what are you saying, y'all? He had one of these right here.
Wow. Yeah, what you got right there? The 5 burner or something?
Yeah, look, he know what I'm talking about, y'all. Look. So he had one of these right here, print them out the car.
Right.
So in my opinion, the artists these days ain't really making money like it because they ain't going hand to hand with it and stuff like that. I had to show you, I did my research on you, man. I watched the documentary. I listened to your music and stuff like that. He got some good music, y'all, and stuff. So he basically was saying had one of those right there. That's a small one,
right,
but they go up to like 10, 20. You can get many as you want, and you put the CD in the top of the thing, the master, and they pop out. He's saying he was selling them quicker than they can burn. That's hustling right there, man. I think every artist that's in the game right now got to get back to hand because this streaming is really killing music though. Like it's killing the music game. And I admire what you did with your music and stuff like that. You actually took it off from being on Apple Music and went the independent route and did it yourself.
I gotta make a difference, God help me please. Early this morning, I'm on my knees, trying to understand, put my mind at ease. What happened to the nation? We're full of pride. The people cried, Philip Wilson tried everything God don't send God Christ died. We need politicians that are righteous leaders. Treat people as equals, not bottom feeders. Show love to the youth, stay the future. Today you're the present, tomorrow the past. Do your best while it lasts, everything's so fast. So much poverty across the land. Youth's gone straight like an education. Gun-tied lads, incarceration. Release from prison, real bad man. Back in the community, scar the land. When you check it out, it's all a part of the plan. So-called crime alleviation, bring poor people so much frustration.
Yeah, I had to give y'all a sample of it. I just read a comment in the thing in the chat. What I believe is like every artist should do what he's doing. Take all your music from Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere that you got your music, and put it on your own website. Not just, I'm not saying sell the CDs hand to hand. We in 2026, we're in a different time zone right now. So what I'm saying is take all your stuff, put it MP3, MP4 on your own website and charge people to download it from yourself instead of dealing with these streaming apps and stuff like that. You can create your own streaming app. That's what my man did. He got a website and all his songs are on now. So every single song, let me try to pull that back up. Let me see. So yeah, this is his actual website right here. So every song that he has is on the actual website. It's not on Apple Music or none of that. Why go through the man when you can be the man? See, that's why I pulled out that duplicator, because I know all about like hand-to-hand selling mixtapes and stuff. So like before I was Boog Worldwide, I was DJ Boog the Great, and I knew how to press those CDs up and stuff like that. I got like 10 duplicators. So that's why I related to his story though. Like I had them things popping out. Like it was that and selling marijuana. It was hand to hand. People listen to the music and they want to get a buzz too. But yeah, let's get back to it, man. I had to get them some of that music, man. That's definitely the way to be, like independent.
Back into the channel, the rhythm is true. Hit the screen, join the flight. Come along.